Hello, my lovelies. Happy Thursday. This is going to be some shadow work. So shadow work is meant to help you integrate your hidden aspects into the light so you can find the balance and integrate those to become the best, most authentic version of yourself. So let's see what triggers we might have this week. What do we need to see? What do we need to know? There we are. Ooh, the color of. What color is your sadness and why? The color of. What color is your anger and why? Sadness and anger. Okay. Communication. How does your shadow self influence your communication style? Inner teen. What do you wish someone would have told you as a teenager? Resent. What do you feel most resentful about? And vulnerability. What makes you feel unsafe and vulnerable? Some food for thought. Part 2 is called integrating. So it's how we kind of reset the balance. What do we need to see? There we go. 5 lives to live. If you had 5 imaginary lives to live, what would you do and be like in each one of them? Playfulness. How can you bring playfulness to your life? Wish they knew. Is there anything you wish more people knew about you? Why don't they already know it? On your deathbed. Imagine you're on your deathbed, and while laying in bed, your parents walk in. What are the last things that you say to them? Forgiveness. What do you need to forgive yourself for? And happiness. What makes you feel the happiest, and how can you move towards that happiness right now? All right, so those are some food for thought. Let's get into our shadow work. All right, so these are the shadow cards. These ones are the dark cards, and then we have the light cards. So I like to start with the shadow side. What's hidden from us this week, Spirit? What do we need to work on? What is that? The 4 of Swords. All right, so we're burnt out. We're exhausted. We need some downtime. We're overwhelmed. We're overextended. Too much on our plate, right? So we have to say no to that in order to find the balance. Don't feel guilty for taking time to yourself. Don't feel guilty for resting when you need to rest. If you've been pushing yourself too hard and burning the candle at both ends, Spirit's trying to caution you that that's time to stop that you've got to refocus that energy and you've got to take good care of you, all right? A shift in perspective could do you some good. So can you see things differently in order to find some resolution, some rest, and a way out? I do feel like there's some sort of unresolved issue in a love connection, and maybe you're burnt out with love. Maybe you're burnt out in dating. Maybe you're burnt out in relationships altogether, and you just want to say no, and that's okay too. We have the Ace of Wands. So I feel like there's this blockage. There's this lack of creativity. There's this lack of passion. They're telling me somebody just gives you the ick, and that's okay too. Sometimes we need to just say no to all of those things. I feel like it's a situation that's blocking this creative avenue from being able to go forward, right? Normally the Ace of Wands is a card of following your passions, creativity, the spark of creation. But when it's in the shadow, it's like there just isn't this stimulus in order to create. And I feel like that comes from being in this burnout scenario where you're just exhausted all the time. It's hard to want to do anything when you're in that energy. All right, we have the Fool. Somebody's hesitant to take that leap forward. I feel like Spirit's trying to get you to trust them so that you can actually go in a new direction. So you can actually get out of this yucky energy, right? But currently, there's no movement forward. Things are stuck. Things are stagnant. I feel like things will start to pick up momentum when you see the truth for what it is, when you shift that perspective. Currently, you're in this energy where it's like, I don't see a way out. So it makes it really difficult in order to want to try anything new because you don't see a way out. It's like the solution hasn't presented itself yet. All right, what do we have? 10 of Wands. You're getting out of survival mode. You're saying no to this heavy burden, right? I feel like once that happens, once this chapter in your life is complete, that's when things start to come back. You start to kind of get refreshed is the word that's coming to mind. maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you need to get rid of all these duties, responsibility, and burdens that are on you in order to feel at your best. And I feel like Spirit's trying to see if we can move out of that scenario. Then all of a sudden things start to change for us, right? But we're stuck, or we feel like we're stuck. I promise you there is a chance that things can change for the better, but you have to see that it's a possibility before it happens. Currently, I feel like you're living a little bit of a nightmare and you're trying to get out of this scenario. I also feel like the Nine of Swords in the reverse is telling us that we're overcoming the fear. We're overcoming the anxiety, the worry, the sleepless nights, the conflict, the chaos, right? All of this heavy negative stuff. We're overcoming that. Once we see the light, it's a lot easier for us to make that move. Oh, we're reclaiming our power. I love it. So the devil in the shadow is the best way to have it. In the light side, it means that we're caught up in temptation and toxicity and cycles repeating that are holding us back from where we want to be. But in the reversal or the shadow, it tells us we're reclaiming our power, that we are defeating all of these temptations or these things that are holding us back. It could be a situation, it could be an addiction, it could be a person. It's something that's no good for us. And so we are learning to reclaim our power to overcome it. And the Six of Wands. So there might be a hollow victory, right? It might not be what you think it's going to be in order to overcome this. However, it's still going to turn into a blessing because you're letting go of it. I feel like you're also coming out of this fog or this confusion where things have really been damaging, have held you back, have maybe kept you from following your dreams, your goals, your passions, your creativity. You're getting your sense of adventure back, right? Especially when you get out of this foggy energy where you can't think straight. Most of it is you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're tired. And so you're not thinking clearly, which means you're not operating at your best. I also feel like the Ace of Coins here would tell us that things are going to change for the better financially. So maybe you thought you missed out on an opportunity. Remember this, nothing that is truly meant for you will ever pass you by, even if it's got to circle the block a few times before you're ready. So you could have an opportunity that has been waiting in the wings, but it's like it was waiting for you to be in the energy to receive it. That's interesting. Okay, Knight of Cups. I wouldn't settle for this offer. The Knight of Cups normally in the light side of the deck is a very genuine offer. However, I feel like this is anything but that. I feel like this person could be arrogant. They could be somebody that's playing games. They're lacking confidence. They're kind of like weak-minded. They're easily manipulated. That's not what you're looking for, especially if you're overcoming the devil energy. You're overcoming the temptation. This person could come in looking like, you know, sorry. Oh, my spirit guide, he is on one today. He said, could come in looking like a wet dream. Okay. Anyways, I feel like this person could come in looking like everything that you want, right? Everything that turns you on, everything that checks all of your boxes, but it's deceptive in nature. It's not what you want it to be. So you probably want to reject that offer. Yeah, you want to say no to that, right? Because you're closing that chapter. You don't want all of this negative energy anymore. You're trying to heal from that. So death and rebirth, karma's being dealt, okay? You're going through a change, through a metamorphosis, through transformation. That's what shadow work's all about, right? To overcome all of these things that you really don't want. And I feel like it leads to what? Your happiness. Okay, so we're turning over a new leaf. I feel like we're getting a fresh start and a new beginning. We're getting our happiness back. They're telling me Stella got her groove back, right? We're coming out of this really dark period. But that hinges on us closing a chapter of the past, seeing it for what it is so that you can make adjustments. It's fine to reminisce, just don't get stuck living there in the past, because I feel like you really do need to make some forward progress. You really do need to try new things, meet new people, and explore new options, and that will lead you someplace much better towards real, genuine love and connection. You could meet this person through following, like, I don't know, passion projects, maybe things that spark that creativity. I get the sense somebody's gonna like try a hobby that maybe they haven't done in a really long time. I know that's a strange scenario. My nose is itching for confirmation. But I do think that somebody's gonna like pick up an old hobby and maybe meet somebody that ends up being a romantic interest. What else do we need to see? Yeah, Queen of Cups. Nurture the things you want to grow. Some of that's going to be you. You're going to nurture yourself so that you can grow. Are you going to work on you? Are you going to give yourself self-love and self-care so that you can overcome these challenges? You sure can, and you sure should. What else do we need to see? Yeah, see? Because if you don't, what are we doing? We're spinning our wheels, right? We're reliving that same toxic fucking nightmare. You don't want that. I promise you, you don't want that. This is what's keeping you stuck. Whether it's a temptation, an addiction, a cycle, things with strings attached, things that are just toxic in nature. Say no to those. I promise you, you can go in a different direction. You don't have to stay in that energy. You can reclaim your power. You can overcome these things and take a step in a new direction, which is exactly what Spirit's asking you to do. So almost needing to have a trust fall with the universe. If you put your trust in Spirit and say, Spirit, whatever or whoever isn't for me, remove it or illuminate it so that I can change course. Show me which direction to go. Watch people start popping out of the woodwork, okay? People that are not good for you, they will be compelled to reveal themselves. Try it, see what happens, but don't say you weren't warned, because I promise you it will work. All right, so you might be moving, traveling, or relocating out of this conflict and chaos, right? Out of this toxic bullshit that you are in because you want something better, right? 7 of Cups. You might have a lot of options. You might not even know you have so many options. You might not even know. One of those is going to be what you want. The rest of them might not be. So investigate accordingly, but take your time. If you're freshly out of a really shitty situation, don't rush in, okay? This is about rushing. The Page of Wands is all about, me, first, I got to be there. All right, well, that person isn't really ready. Pages are not people that you settle down with. Pages are very young people. Pages are people who have a lot of life to learn still. This page in particular is really stubborn and really headstrong and somebody who's very here 1 second and gone the next, very flighty energy. That's not what you're looking for, I guarantee you. So yes, you need to be a little bit more adventurous. Yes, you need to try new things and meet new people, but you also need to not go towards the first thing that comes down, because I feel like it's not going to be what you want. So take your time and figure out what it is that you are looking for before you settle. All right. I feel like you're being encouraged to focus on practical matters at this time. Maybe some of you are building a business. Maybe some of you are doing spiritual work or healing work, things like that. And I feel like some of you really need to tap into your intuition because it's going to help lead you out of a really dark period. The Queen of Coins is somebody that's very practical. She's somebody that's grounded. She knows that slow and steady wins the race. It's going to take time. So be patient. And that can be a challenge as well, right? Sometimes we want things when we want it. Right now. And that's not always the best opportunity. All right. We need some balance in our life, right? It's going to help us get out of this confusion. I do think you need to communicate exactly what it is that you want, what you're looking for. You might have somebody younger that's trying to come in that kind of is very alluring or appealing. Maybe it's very flattering to you if you're a little bit older and someone younger wants to come in and try and date you. I don't feel like it goes anywhere. I don't feel like you guys are on equal level ground. I don't feel like this person has any sort of longevity to them. I feel like it's a flash in the pan. Hey, if you're looking to just get out there and have a one-night stand, you do you. But don't say you weren't warned. It's not really going to go the distance. What you're looking for is a wish fulfillment. You want somebody that actually checks all your boxes. So is it worth your time to settle? Is it worth your time to even stoop to that level? It's a downgrade, okay? You're worth more than that. So value yourself accordingly, because new love is on the horizon for you. But I also feel like some of that comes from you giving it to yourself, right? We could have a commitment, but is it the commitment that's right for you? And if it's not, we have to say no. Ooh, there's that spark of creativity coming back. This love might actually inspire you, okay? Knight of Wands. Again, somebody comes in really quickly, really hot and heavy, but are they worth your time, or is it a bad idea? All right, Spirit, show me one card to close the reading. Perfect, thank you. All right, so some self-reflection is needed. This is the cosmic mirror. So think of what a mirror is. What is a mirror? It's a reflection. Can you look at the reflection and own it for what it is? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and go, I've worked damn fucking hard to be who that person is staring back at me? You might be unrecognizable in the beginning, okay? When I started doing my own shadow work, it was like, who is this person? I don't even know her. I have grown to love the reflection staring back at me, flaws and all. I've learned to embrace every single aspect of who I am today. Why? Because I fought tooth and nail through absolute hell to get here. So you need to embrace who you are. Shadow work is exactly that. Embrace who you are. Embrace all the challenges, all of the problems, all of the things, because they got you to your present day. So it's time to face yourself in the mirror. Let's see, I want one more of these. Anything else that's hidden that we need to work on this week, Spirit? Anything that's hidden that we need to work on this week? There we go. Knight of Coins. Okay. I do feel like some of you are a little bit hesitant to go forward with a new offer, and that's okay. If you don't want it right now, say no. If it's really meant for you, it'll come back around when the time is right. But nights bring news. So maybe there was something that was hidden that's coming to light. I do think it could come in quickly, especially when you start working on yourself. It's like, oh, there's the green light. It's go time. I do think that there could be potential for new employment, a job opportunity, and maybe it's been waiting in the wings because you weren't in alignment yet. However, I feel like that's about to change because you're about to reclaim your power and you're turning over a new leaf, going towards peace, happiness, and harmony. So I feel like there's a lot of people that might reach out and want to work with you in some capacity. I also feel like there's opportunities to, they're giving me the words, be a mover and a shaker. So some of you are moving, some of you are traveling, some of you are traveling because of work, but this is an opportunity that I feel like will benefit you. What do we need to know, Shadow? What do we need to know from our Shadow? There we go. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so we have the measuring tape. Remember that you always measure up. Don't compare yourself to anyone but you, okay? You're on a journey, they're on a journey, and they're totally different. So you always measure up to you, where you need to be. So don't feel like you have to compare yourself to others. We have the squirrel. So you could be seeing squirrels in your everyday world. It could also be that you are like planning ahead for the future, right? Maybe you're saving things that you need, squirreling away your resources. I feel like you're not going to have to do that much longer because I do think that there's positive changes that are coming in. Somebody wants you to know that they love you always. Love yourself unconditionally always, okay? Life is a gift. Remember to treat it as such, okay? Life is a gift every single day. It's a blessing. Could be some love coming in. We do have the Ace of Cups here, so love could be coming in. For some of you, I feel like this is a destined union that's coming in. We do have the Two of Cups, these little angels. So it could be a twin flame. You know, shadow work's going to help you to come into alignment with that person as well. You're working on yourself, right? The mirror image of you. That's what a twin flame union actually is. Remember that a true twin flame is going to be your greatest teacher. They're also going to be your mirror. They're going to be a carbon copy of you, just different enough to teach you some really hard lessons, but they will be a duplicate or a reflection of you. Interesting. All right, we have more love trying to come in. Sorry, these don't show up so great in the camera. I feel like some things are being illuminated, right? Some of that might be a wish fulfillment, could be dealing with an Aquarius. I think we'll be in Aquarius season at the time this plays. So happy birthday to all my aqua sauce out there. All right. You might be a bit of a loner, right? You might be howling at the moon. I feel like for some of you, you're going to go from being a loner to being somebody that people really want to be with. So stay determined, little seashell. Focus on you. Focus on your goals. Cut away the things you don't want, right? Say no to all that riffraff, toxic energy. Spirit wants you to know that you are made with love, and they want you to remember to focus on love. It starts from within. We have a lot of love coming through. Love always, love, 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 made with love. So lots of love trying to come in. Spirit's trying to show you it's time to embrace your shadow. Love it. Embrace it. It's part of who you are. It's not less than. It's not something that we are disgusted by. Reclaim that power. Reclaim all parts of you. Integrate those pieces of you. Honor them. Know that it helped to get you to your present day. It's going to help you to overcome all your challenges. Embrace it. honor who you are, and be authentically you. Be seen. Have a great week.